What is up, everyone? My name is Guillaume.
My name is Chris. Welcome to Thomann Guitars and Basses. We are at the NAMM Show in 2025. This is Anaheim, and it's loud. There are a lot of people, a lot of fun people, a lot of famous people as well. So we thought we'll ask them the same question, which is...
Who has the best guitar tone?
Which is a stupid question to ask.
Of all time, ever.
But we did it anyway. It's like an unanswerable question. But hey, this is what they said.
If you've ever been stood in front of Andy Timmons when he's playing loud in the gig, there are few people who have ever been able to convey the way that guy conveys, right? Astonishing. So I love that. But also, you sit in the room with Robin Ford and see if that doesn't move you. And it's like, so it's about these guys who connect in that way that enable them to say something. Yeah. And there's, those guys just leave me speechless.
Has to be Andy Timmons. Sorry.
It's kind of impossible, but what Eric Johnson has achieved throughout his career, his dedication to sonic integrity, he sets the bar for so many of us, me included. I don't want to sound like Eric, but I appreciate the lengths that he's gone through to achieve the best possible tone that he can for the music that he wants to put out. So that's a constant inspiration. That's constant, searching for integrity, trying to get the purest tone, and of course Jeff Beck is in there too. I should have mentioned Jeff earlier. There's too many to mention. But anyway, but I learned from everybody, but of course you have your Mount Rushmore, Yeah.
I think the obvious answer to that would be like Eddie Van Halen. Okay. Because in a way it was almost like not really that distorted in a way, but it was in a way, you know what I mean? But it had a cleanness to it where it really ripped through a mix, you know what I'm saying? And it just...
his picking had a lot to do with how he sounded, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you were to go on his gear, you're not going to sound like him. It's a distinctive style of the way he held his pick and the way his hand set on the strings, and that's what made him him. But overall, I mean, his tone has always been, I think, the most rememberable. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like one of these tones that's timeless, and I think everybody in a way tries to copy it, in their own right. But other players, Akira Takasaki from Loudness, has always had a great tone,
I'm going to be everyone is going to say this, but it will be David Gilmour, the only one, but yeah.
Well, that's a hard one, too. I would have to say just my favorite, one of them is the Hendrix tone on Bandit Gypsies. It's kind of hard to beat.
It's true. It's true. I don't think it's been done since.
No, it's so glorious. Of course, you can't play that loud anymore.
No.
I really have a tough time picking just one, but if you're open to interpretation and different variety, then truly everyone has something unique in their tone,
I mean, again, it's Eddie Van Halen, but I want to be specific because it's really bright and crispy on the first record, and then the second record's got another great tone, but for me, Fair Warning is like the Unchained is my favorite guitar tone of all time.
It's Meteor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the clarity on 1984 is ridiculous. Like, a lot of people don't know that Ed played Hopper Teacher on a 58 Flying V. A V, so he could switch to the neck pickup and clean it for the first section. Yeah. But there's no whammy bar, and it's so clean, you hear every fucking note. Yeah. And if you listen to the isolated track, you're like, you know what? 98%, 99%, 99.5% of all those guys that play Eddie licks on YouTube could not play with that guitar that clean. Yeah. No way. They need all the gain to, I don't know, hide mistakes or whatever. Did I just say that? I'm a dick!
Instinctively, John Mayer, but everyone's going to say that.
It's funny, you're the first one to say it.
Some of my favorite tones ever are Albert Collins, super bright, reverb, Telecaster, bridge pickup. The best Strat tone I've ever heard in my entire life, besides, Stevie and Hendrix, was Michael Landau back in the early 90s.
Yes.
Yeah, Burning Water, Strat tone, unfreaking believable. And then, of course, Robin and Larry for the humbucker tone, Dumble tone, prototypical tone. For jazz, I'm a Grant Green guy. His tone was so great. It had a little bit of grit, and I like that he often used Charlie Christians or, single coil pickups, P90s, as opposed to humbuckers, and I like that.
Who, in your opinion, has the best bass tone?
You. I mean, literally, what is the best? Yeah, I mean, that's up to an opinion. For me, it's the person who has the most original tone. I did a thing with Justin Chancellor, who plays bass with the Tool at Berkeley. And he did a workshop at Berkeley, and he gave away 10 tickets, free tickets in the almost front row to students. And the way we did it, he played the first note to a Tool song, and the first person who can name that song got a ticket. And he would go boom, and people's hands would go up, and they'd name the song. One note. Literally, I'm not making this up. One note. The tone would change, but that's a player who has a sound. Can he do all the tricks I can do? Probably not. But that's why he lives in a mansion, and I live in. But here's the thing: everybody has their own tone, but not everybody knows what that tone is. Justin Chancellor knows.
Wow,
So is it the best for Tool? Yes. So the main thing is to be the best you can be. Don't worry about being better than anybody else. That doesn't exist.
Pure blues guitar tone, I think about Earl Hooker.
Oh, wow.
Earl Hooker. I mean, because it's so clear and so just perfect. Just such a clear tone. And it sounds so bluesy, but it's unique because he's not playing all of the standard blues-like phrases. It kind of came along in that time where everybody was heavily influenced by B.B. King, but he kind of chose his own way to do it, and it's just such a pure, beautiful bluesy tone.
Oh, that's difficult. From the extremely famous Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson, I think. When he uses a fuzz into a Marshall very loud and it rounds out by itself, Eric Johnson.
I like that very much. Thank you.
On Instagram, Chris.
Of course. Who has the best guitar tone?
Chris Barocci.
You know you're the second one to say that?
I knew I wouldn't be the first. I really like Brian May's tone because it's so distinct. It's not a use in every situation tone. That's true. But Brian May is, for me, the quintessential player that you go, that's Brian May.
Yeah.
I like the old surf tones. The guitar tone in Miserloo. Dick Dale, that with the reverb, the amount of space there is and the way the reverb just blended with the guitars and the rawness and the mid-range, that's probably my favorite guitar tone. That, and then if I want to go to the 90s, Electioneering. You remember that Radiohead song? That tone is just mint. And then I'm going deep. Kitty, Kitty's Back. It's an old Bruce Springsteen tune from his second album. Yeah. Just the opening of that Telecaster. Ooh, buttered toast, buddy. Buttered toast. There you go. There's 3.
You're selling it.
All right. Now that you've put so many people on the spot and made so many of our friends uncomfortable.
It's all on me.
It's all on you. I'll blame you for it, at least. Who do you think has the best guitar tone?
Well, last time I made a mistake not choosing you, so this time I won't.
I appreciate it. I was holding a grudge, to be honest. It was difficult for me.
And if you don't count, then it's gotta be Andy Timmons and Joey Landreth head-to-head. Very different sound, amazing chills, goosebumps. Oh my God. What up about you?
Yeah, it's a difficult question. I'm realizing now how difficult it is. Well, I'm gonna pick the only 2 players whose sound made me cry when I heard it. That was David Gilmour and John Mayer. It's funny that
now we need a hug.
It's funny that this happens exactly when we talk about this. Okay, and no, you're actually gonna wrap up this video for us.
Yes.
Who do you think has the best guitar tone? Period. You did this to yourself, brother.
It's on you, dude. It's on you.
In general?
Yes, ever.
We all saw John Mayer yesterday. He killed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, dude.
John Mayer.
Fair enough.
It's easy, but it's the truth.
No, I agree. I just said
Thanks
that.
for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
To
Paul David.
Paul.
No, he has enough. He has enough. Subscribe for us.
Yeah, Thomann.
There's no such thing as
These guys are actually working. I'm just chilling. So these guys deserve your
We have
stuff.
to learn from Paul.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everyone. You know what's funny? We had Dan from TPS. And asked him like, hey, what do you think about like who has? And he mentioned like, if you've ever seen Andy Timmons play live, that's where you shed some tears. I'm like, I know.
You know why though? It's 'cause I'm a little out of tune, and that gets him. That's my secret. Don't tell anybody, but that's my secret. Just a little bit out of tune. Never sharp, just a little flat. It's perfect. Oh, exactly. It hurts. It's very painful.
Don't believe Andy.
But people don't know. They don't know what they're feeling, but that's what it is.